Good evening, chaps, and welcome back to part 6 of Dwarf Fortress, and welcome back to Courage Glazed, which is the fortress we've been working on. So apologies for the delay in getting this next episode out, guys. I hope you're all very well. So as you know, we're still working on this irrigation system, which is dragging on a lot longer than I hoped, and I've been trying to clear this out using stockpiles. I think I mentioned in a previous episode that we could dump all the stone, but in the past I've considered it a little bit exploity. So I'm about to completely eat my own words. I apologise for that because this is just taking way too long, guys. So I think we are going to have to dump all this stone, really. So if we crack straight on with it, I'm going to leave a tiny stone stockpile at the bottom here, but the rest of it will go. And then just down here, probably just that square there, going to leave a single square which will be the dump. So I've just placed that with I, which is the zoning button, and then if you look up here you can see all the different options. So we just press D to activate that as a garbage dump. Escape, done. And then DBD, do that a bit more slowly. So designation D, then we're going to press B, set building or item properties, and then you've got numerous different options here. So melt items, by the way, this is how you can melt down stuff, so like goblin armour and things like that. We're just going to use D, which small case D for dump, and then we are going to come right out here. So I've marked that all for dumping, guys, because we want to clear this all out so we can farm, and then until we get that pub all dug out, we're actually going to set up the dining hall in this section here. So we'll have a food stockpile which we want clear, and then we'll have tables and chairs set up here. So we'll do that, and then the other thing we're going to do is put a wall there, and then see if I can get this right. We're going to want walls there and walls there. By the way, when you're building something which needs multiple stone, if you just hold down shift when you press enter, that'll do the whole lot. So we've walled that off. We're going to put doors in here which will lock, and then that will basically effectively seal this off, so then we can flood this, which will be how we're going to irrigate it all, so we can start to grow some crops. And then hopefully in the future as well, we're going to expand this so we can get the textile industry up and going. And also I think this is going to be where we get our livestock set up. So we need to break through into the caverns before grass and moss will start growing in inside the fortress on wet stone. I'm not exactly sure the thinking behind that. I believe it's to do with the spores that come from the plants in the underground caverns. I think that's the idea. And then we can also set up a tree farm, which will be quite nice. Okay, so we can see we've just had an announcement that Unib Lolorothsin has claimed a craft store's workshop. So he was actually our woodcutter, so I'm kind of intrigued to see what he comes up with, guys. So he's down there. Sketches pictures of skeletons, which basically means he's after bones. So he's going to go and collect that now. So it'll be made out of elephant bone, hopefully, which will be kind of interesting. The other thing which you might have picked up on, guys, if you look down here, you can see all these brown arrows that are flashing. That's, let's just have a quick look, shall we? Come down here. Stray cow tame. Yeah, so we can see here hungry. If we press the, say G is the general screen. If we press W, that brings up wound, but it also tells you about whether they're hungry or thirsty. So basically all these animals are stuck in our assembly point, which is just inside, so they've got nothing to eat, which is a bit of a nightmare. So again, using the zone tool, which is I, we're going to come out here. We don't want to go too close to the water, really. How big do we want it, guys? We'll start out with that. So that's quite big, and then you can see here if we press lowercase n for pen or pasture, you've got 331 tiles there, which is quite nice. So basically that's going to put, well, once we've got it set up, we'll keep all these animals inside that pen or pasture. So if we press capital N, you can see here we can assign animals. So some animals don't actually eat anything, so I think pigs fall into that category, but we'll we'll put them all in there for now. I think there's enough room, but we may have to revisit this later. So basically these animals are going to eat the grass, and then depending on the biome in which you embarked, or depending on the biome which covers that part of the map, if you get a multiple biome embark, then there can literally be a line through the map where it changes either side. So depending on which biome this particular part of the ground is what's going to control how quickly that grass will regrow. So we might be able to support dozens of animals in there, or it might not regrow at all, in which case we'll have to rethink. So that's going to affect us underground as well, because the biome, I believe, governs how quickly moss and grass will grow underground as well. So that will put a bit of a spanner in the works in terms of our underground animal industry and tree farm. Although I don't know if any of you guys know this, but I'd be intrigued to know whether the biome affects the growth of tower caps, which are effectively underground trees. I assume it probably would. The other thing I'm going to do, guys, while I'm here, is if you notice these traps here, I haven't actually placed them particularly well, because a caravan can't get through there because it needs 3 squares. So I'm just going to remove a couple here for now, and then we can replace them later. That's fine. So we'll press resume. So this is all our dwarfs we've got in the fortress. So if we look now, we've actually only got a couple without jobs, and one's actually a miner, which is interesting. So we need to get that addressed. Store item in stockpile, store item in stockpile. So I think these are probably going to be people. Are these people working on dumping the stones? Yeah. So the interesting thing about this dumping mechanic now is obviously you lose the strength or the benefit of using the wheelbarrows, which you get on the stockpile. So it's actually going to be quite slow for the dwarfs to get this cleared out. So we'll have to see how that goes. Okay, interesting. So our woodcutter's created a mysterious creation. He's in that craft dwarf's workshop there. So we'll have to see how that goes. Hopefully something good, and he'll get mastery of a skill, which will be nice. So depending on what mood the dwarf enters, they sometimes will max out a skill related to the craft they create. I'm not exactly sure which moods do and don't have that result, so I'd need to check that and let you know, guys. But that's something we might get out of this, depending of course on whether the dwarf has the right skill. So let's come down to the workshops, and I should have used the hotkey. If we build a door, build a table and a chair or throne. Oop. So we'll get that going. Basically, guys, we're finally going to set up the bookkeeper, and that will improve the accuracy of some of our data here in terms of the stocks we've got, so that'll be good. And then try and get some bits and bobs getting churned out now. We'll add some armour, iron, and I don't think we got any gauntlets when we were looking at this previously, so let's get a few of those on the go. And then let's just get another set of armour. Gonna want a cap, aren't we? And another low boot, unless we've got a legless dwarf, which we don't have so far, so we'll see how that goes. And we did make a shield last time, didn't we, guys? So I'm led to believe that what you make the shield out of doesn't actually make that much difference, but we'll make another one out of iron for now. That might be a massive waste of resources, in which case I can only apologise. And then the other thing we're going to do is we're going to get a little armour store set up. So where should we put that? Let's put that over here, shall we? Just so we can keep tabs of the armour as it gets made, so we can see exactly what we've got. And the other thing about making armour on this, guys, is that's going to really push up our fortress value. So we can't actually see it at the moment, but we'll see a created wealth up here. And you also see an imported and exported wealth. And as they start to push up, that's when you're going to attract more attention from other civilizations, be it good or bad. So we might get elven traders, but we might also get goblins, for example. So that's the queue. I've just come in there again, guys, onto the stool. Select it, and then assign. Let me have a look. So I've got someone in mind. Okay, so it's Thob. I can't say that. I'm not going to try and say that second name. So I'm going to assign it to him. And then pause. We'll come into the noble screen, which is the N button, by the way. Come down to bookkeeper. Enter to fill the vacancy. And then see if we can find the right chap. So it was Thob. Keep my eyes peeled. There he is. Okay. So you can see here holdings, meagre office, so that's that room we just gave him, and then on this right hand side you can see what they need, which is just a meagre office. So this is like the easiest set of demands to satisfy in the game, guys. And then obviously as you get more, what's the right word, as you get better nobles and I was going to say nobler nobles, but eventually as you get nobles that have much higher demands, it's a lot more difficult to satisfy the things they need. And then also where it says mandate here, certain nobles can mandate certain things to be made or certain things not to be made, and then it can have a big impact on their mood. So it does become a bit of a juggling act as you get later in the game, but it all adds to the fun, so that's something to look forward to. So we can see our dwarf starting to fill up our armour stockpile here, which is quite nice. I'm not sure what they all are actually, it's not that clear from the iron helm, Macedonia wood shield, tea wood shield, iron shield. Okay. Oh, that's not good. So we can see quite a big miasma build up here, which does give negative thoughts for dwarfs. So we'll put a door there. We may have to put another door. We'll see how that goes. What have we actually got there then, guys? 73 elephant meat. Blimey. Okay, cool. So Unib Lolorothsin Woodcutter has created Lun Ustir, an elephant bone pick. Press enter to close the window. So if we go on L, we can see the siltstone amulet that got made a while ago. And here we've got Lun Ustir, the cloud of crows, an elephant bone pick. Weight 1. Description. This is an elephant bone pick. All craft dwarfship is of the highest quality, is encircled with bands of elephant bone. So there we go. That's nice. So that's this guy here. Sorry, wrong button. V. And then... Yeah, okay, cool. So you can see he's a legendary bone carver now. Probably not the first choice if you wanted to max a skill out in this game, but we can probably make use of him, so that's great. So we'll probably be making some bone crafts now with this guy. I'll look into Dwarf Therapist to make sure he's the one that's the only one assigned the relevant labour, and that actually might be quite... I was probably a bit pessimistic there, but that actually could be quite useful for trading, so that's definitely something that we'll be looking into. Right then guys, I'm going to call it a day there. It's just a short video, get things moving along again, and hopefully I'll have a follow-up pretty soon. I hope you all enjoyed it. As ever, I'd love to hear from any of you guys with thoughts or suggestions. Yeah, take care guys. Cheers.